Guys, we have breaking news from the Duskhaven server. We just got announced today that Duskhaven is completely going the Final Fantasy XIV Reforged route. So how this video is going to go is I'm going to go ahead and read out the entire post that they did, at least the part concerning what is happening, because right afterward there are some commonly asked questions. We're going to go through all of the Q&A after the fact. First of all, let's go through the post. Hello everyone, we'd like to discuss our plans for the future. Within acknowledgement of the server's current rough edges and the need to revisit our server core, we've decided to relaunch Duskhaven Reforged in mid-October to early November, precise date coming forthwith. This implies that the Smolder Thorn realm will cease to exist from the first week of August. To be clear, it will go down. However, before it goes down, everyone who has stood by us during Smolder Thorn's reign will be able to participate in our custom highly engaging Doomsday event as part of our relaunch. This relaunch will be canon to the Duskhaven lore. This wasn't an easy decision, but after careful evaluation of our server core and the technical debt it required, it was decided that it was better off re-releasing the server. Consequently, we've decided to transition to the Duskforge core, a new open source core based on AC and a joint venture between the Duskhaven and the Forge teams. Further details will soon follow. In the meantime, I'll do what I can to clarify some common concerns, both with this announcement and today's Q&A session, which I will discuss later on. If at a future date you find that you have a specific concern that is not addressed, please do not hesitate to reach out. Now, there are a few questions right here, but these are related to the server starting off, so I'm going to go ahead and read those. First up is the big question that has been swirling around our community with these last several hours, whether we plan to reset the server. Ultimately, we will be resetting the server and all characters will be wiped from the accounts. It is a difficult decision to reach, and we are aware that it isn't pleasant for anyone to lose the characters they've built up over the history of Duskhaven. But at the end of the day, we believe that the ways we can best serve our community, serve you, is through the methods that require a server wipe to accomplish. Not the least of which is the implementation of the Dusk Reforged core, discussed in today's announcement. That said, we are taking steps to limit the loss of each individual player's time best we can. To that end, your existing accounts will transfer over to the new server. We will periodically hold polls to ensure that we are taking your perspective and desires into the account as we prepare for Duskhaven's relaunch. One major concern that we've seen repeated perhaps more than any other in the last few months is the lack of clear communications. Let's be very clear about this matter. This will be the last time Duskhaven will ever reset. We would not have chosen to reset if it wasn't absolutely necessary and essential to the experience. We want to hear what is the biggest pain points for the reset so we are able to decide what we can do to make this process suck less. And then from there, they held open an open Q&A somewhat. You got to ask your question and all of the various devs would answer it. Now, there is a lot to go through, but I did see a lot of repeat questions, so I went ahead and wrote down all of the different questions and answers that were asked. I did kind of organize them, so same-like questions were kind of put together in the same group, so it wasn't too much of a difference between the various questions. But besides that, there is no order in which I'm reading these out, other than I tried grouping same questions together. First of all, I'm going to start off with just general questions, followed by the classes and races, professions, going down all the way to PvE and then PvP questions. This is the one and only time that they will reset. They plan to shut down 1.0 in August and launch 2.0 between October and November. They have already been working on it for a while and are confident in the planned timeline. They know people will get pissed off at the wipe, but this is to ensure the longevity and the possibility to bring in new players. The new core is going to be a 3.3.5 based client. There's going to be a new launcher and a website that will become available when it's ready. With that, there is a possible database to be made similar to Wowhead. Players who played on 1.0 will receive legacy rewards, which are going to be unknown at the moment. There will be a transmog system similar to Legion. Professions are going to get a complete overhaul and may be similar to Dragonflight. New custom professions will be added with the new unique nodes for gathering type 1s. There will be a PTR available when it is ready to test. Polls will be sent out to ask the community on various aspects of the updates that they plan on changing. There were 15 to 20 new developers added to the Duskhaven team to help this process. Anyone who donated will have a credit back to repurchase things that they have bought, so they will not lose the money spent on 1.0. They will be adding account-wide systems such as mounts, titles, achievements, reputation, and mail. Some of those things I'm in agree with, but some of them I'm not quite in agreement with. It seems that they want to add a UI system similar to Dragonflight. Worgen and Goblins will be added in as actual races. The custom classes such as Demon Hunter, Bard, Monk, Tinker, and possibly others will not be tied to other classes and will be receiving their own unique class. All of the custom classes, with right now the exception of DK and Demon Hunter, will be starting from level 1. DK and DH will be polled to see if people want a level 1 experience. If so, things will be changed, altered, and turned down for that level 1 experience. If not, they will be starting at a higher level. Custom classes are going to be completely overhauled in their design. The non-viable builds, such as the two-handed shamans, will be buffed to become viable. All classes will be getting changes. There will be new race and class combinations. New races besides the Worgen and Goblins will be voted on before added in. There will be overhauled racials. The new tank specializations such as the Shaman Tank or the Bear Druid will be carried over and get their own talent tree. Hardcore mode will be coming over as well. Any class changes to the previous classes in 1.0 will not transfer over to 2.0 and is being made from the ground up. The new core will allow for new models from the newer expansions, including the interface and combat animations. That is because they want to use a lot of the newer animations, but they are not rigged to the older models, so we will be getting the new HD models in Duskhaven 2.0. Leveling rates can be chosen just as before. You can have up to the current one, which is Wrath rates times 2, or you can have it as low as half of vanilla rates, 0.5. They said it is possible that they might do the Cataclysm revamped zones. I really hope they do not, but they will be polling the community for that. It is possible that players who do the exploration achievement, such as exploring the entirety of the map, will be getting a permanent 15 to 20% mount speed increase, which will be polled to see if people want that. There will be no flying mounts. Other forms of optional content for endgame as well as some leveling content are planned, such as mini-games, a tower defense mode, a MOBA style mini-game, and a Pandaria farm, at least something close to it. They are also open to adding other things such as the Withered Army scenario. No Northrend or Outland at the moment, except for some small scenarios where they might take place in a specific location in those continents. But they are not being looked at as leveling zones just yet, even if they were to be scrolled down for a 1 to 60 experience. There will be Cataclysm haste changes, which will apply melee haste to energy regeneration and rune cooldowns for Death Knights. Spell haste will add additional ticks to dots and hots, and the duration of spells and abilities will no longer be reduced by spell and melee haste. Normal raids will be flex mode, such as 10 to 30 man for normal mode. However, heroic will not be. They will either be 15 or 20 man. There will be custom leveling dungeons. World buffs are undecided as of right now, but may be usable in normal raids, but they will be disabled in heroic raids. The rogue combo points will be player bound, not enemy bound, which means if you build up combo points and you switch targets, you will retain those combo points instead of starting over from 0, which I find to be fantastic as a quality of life thing. It seems that hunters might get focus instead of mana, however that will be polled. Right now, there is no plans for world scaling, such as the world scaling with your level. They now have a team of class developers, however, they will be relying on community input as well. All raid testing shall be done internally by the dev team. Mythic Plus is going to get looked at, and a possible new system and rewards for the Mythic Plus system. There will be a lot more new world bosses added to the game. Solo queue is possible for PvP. There will be PvP specific talents coming in. Not only that, they will be looking into the balance of various classes and are actively sought after for changes to help make classes more viable in PvP and not as much one-shotty or glass cannon. It looks like for the PvP as well, there will be specific zones targeted on your map that will become a free-for-all area with a chest and other PvP goodies available to grab. Only players in war mode will be able to participate in this, so the PvEers and levelers will not be hindered by this. But it's basically the Zul'Gurub arena, but the entirety of the zone with loot drops and big treasure chests and all that kind of stuff, with a just big free-for-all between the Horde and Alliance players all going at each other, and that actually sounds really fun. War mode will be looked at and improved with more incentive to play it, and there will be more PvP tasks and quests. Well, that's everything. I kind of went through the Q&A and I picked out as many questions as I could and read out the answers to see what we will be getting in Duskhaven 2.0. Like I said, this is an absolutely huge announcement. It's going to be a completely new experience. I personally, I'm the kind of person who really does not like, wipes. I quit Conan Exiles because of server wipes. I quit Minecraft because all of my servers were wiped. I just do not like them. However, with Duskhaven, I'm not feeling as angered as I usually do when it comes to this kind of stuff in video games. I don't really know why, but I also know that with all of these new updated changes and things that they're looking to improve, this is definitely a good thing. I know a lot of people have that same kind of feeling I do about wipes, but guys, I know it sucks. But if you love Duskhaven and you love what they're trying to do, this is something that is going to be necessary, because not only will your experience be improved, but that means better changes and better things overall will happen for this server. Yes, we might lose a couple of people on the way, but I feel this is the best way to grow the community. After all, ever since the giant boost in players where it was like 1,000 people online at a time, since then it has dropped down to 100 to 200 players online at a time, and it seems to me that most of the reason why people are leaving have all been because of various bugs, lag spikes, disconnections. Now, according to somebody that I know who does coding on the various private servers, he was talking about how Duskhaven was doing their phasing technology in a way that was one of the biggest reasons for the lag spikes. It was just a way of coding and a lot of spaghetti code that is involved with it, and it put a lot of strain on the server due to the amount of people in various scenarios and phasing areas while in the questing experience, and that's what was causing a lot of issues on top of a lot of other stuff that the server just had wrong with it from the get-go. So starting over from scratch, being able to iron out all those kinks and issues that they had from the start, again, this is going to be a massive improvement and a way to redeem themselves in the eyes of players that they already lost due to these issues. But anyway, this video has gone on long enough. Please tell me what you think about Duskhaven 2.0 with all of the news and information that we have gotten so far. I already covered Duskhaven news. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this, and any more updates on what the server is going to offer when it comes time, I will be sure to let you guys know. So for any news and updates on Duskhaven, make sure that you like, subscribe, comment down below. I also do other servers such as Project Epoch, Turtle WoW, Azeroth at War, and other servers. And I will see you next time.